Instead of using the plain text title in Davinci Resolve, I want to try to convince you to use the Text Plus node. It's very powerful. You can make text like this, and like that, and like this, all in the free version of Davinci Resolve. So welcome back to Creator Reality, my friend. I'm John. Let's dive into Davinci Resolve, and I'll show you what this really cool title is all about. So here we are in Davinci Resolve. I've got a timeline open. We're going to click on Effects, and then under Toolbox, Titles, we have Text and Text Plus. First, let's just grab a text, and you can see it's basic title. That's it. And you can change some things on it, and it has a built-in drop shadow and a background. Very basic stuff. But what if you want to do more? That's where the Text Plus comes in. Let's get rid of that basic text with a backspace, and then we're going to drag in a Text Plus. So we've got our Text Plus, and now it's custom. It's already better, right? But there's a lot going on in here. We've got a lot of tabs, and there's settings. We will come back to that in a few minutes. And if you want more room for this, we can click on this drop-down arrow, and it'll take up the whole right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to collapse that now to help us focus on certain things, certain aspects of this. The top of this is text, and we can change this to whatever we want. Yes, we could even put subscribe in there. Look at that. Ooh, typing without looking. But we'll get rid of that and type in something else. So we've changed the text, big deal. But then we have this font drop down, and we can select from any one of these fonts. We're going to go with this Agency FB, and then that allows us to change the size. So we can move the size up and down. And if you notice all these diamonds over here, we can create keyframes with those. I recently did a video on the keyframe editor here in the edit page, which can help with this, but we're going to leave those alone for now. But if you want to do motion graphics and things like that, the keyframes come in really handy. Feel free to tinker with it. This is a powerful tool. And our tracking, it's going to change the kerning or the space between letters. Anything you see with text on it, you can double click on it and it resets it to the default value. Line spacing. Let's go add some lines. Bring the size down a little bit. Now our line spacing is going to change how much distance there is between the lines. And then we have our V anchor, so you can anchor things in the middle or the top or the bottom, and it allows you to have multiple text effects that all have the same start. I got to reverse it for the camera. Or the same start. You get the point, right? Anyway, resetting that, you get the same thing for the horizontal anchor, which allows you to left and right justify. And if you want to have somewhere in the middle or change it, we can do a keyframe on that. So we could actually zoom in here, and we could start with everything left anchored. And by here, we could have it right anchored. And then as you play it through, the text will move. There's an example of keyframes. Now, go forth and conquer. To get rid of those, I'm going to use my arrow and click on them to remove the keyframes. And then skipping down to right on, this one is one I use all the time. Check this out. At the start of our clip, we've got the start of our effect there. We can change this right on to be nothing. Click the keyframe icon, go sometime forward, and drag it out. And then when Davinci Resolve renders this out, it will type the text on screen. How cool is that? Isn't that pretty cool? Are you learning anything? Boop the like button for me. Show me you care. But again, we're going to get rid of our keyframes on that, reset it to default, because there's a lot of other fun things that we want to play with, like the layout. We have point, text box, circle, and path for the type. You can get really complicated in here, and I highly suggest that you go tinker with it. But for today, we're just going to stick with point. But we can move everything around, up and down. And again, we have keyframes to mess with this. So you can make all sorts of motion graphics with it. We have our size again, so you can go size things up and down as total text effects. We also have rotation and a background. We're going to ignore this background. There's a better one I'm going to show you in just a minute. Next up, we have transform. Now this one's cool because if I go back to text and I hit the drop down here, we have regular and bold. So we can change this to bold, make it easier for you to read. But then under transform, we can go to sheer, and you notice there was no italics. Well, if I drag this X down, it now becomes italicized. And I use this to great effect in my thumbnail text. So if you want to see a video on that, then come back after you've watched it. But I've done a video on how I make thumbnails using Davinci Resolve. It's very easy. This program slices, dices, it juliennes. It's great stuff. but I use that a lot. I really do. So moving on, we have shading. This is where a lot of the built-in Davinci Resolve titles are crafted, okay? It's using all of these shading elements to make special effects happen. So let's go through them and take a quick look. The first one is a white solid fill, and you can change the name here to, again, that's a little on the nose, isn't it? I'll Control Z to undo that. But you can change the name, so it's called something else. You can change whether or not it's enabled. And the big thing here is in the properties. We have the opacity, so you can make it more or less translucent. And then we have our blending, which is composite, solid, or transparent. I just leave it on composite. The appearance is fun because with different shading elements, you have solid, outline. You see how that changes, blocks, and then outline lines. I don't know what to call that one. That's a border thing. But by default, the appearance is on solid, which is great for the white solid fill. We can change our color here. We can go with a light blue, and then you can adjust the colors from there. And you've got softness and position and all these other settings, which you have for each of these shading elements, which is super cool. Because when we go to 2, it's red outline. We can enable it, and now you'll see a thin red outline. Well, if I come to thickness, I can drag that up, but that color is really garish. So we're going to change that to a light gray. Ooh, that's even worse. Let's change it to, well, I was going to go with black, but we'll do a gray. There we go. That's a little easier to read. Okay, so now you'll notice that the appearance here is not solid, like that. That would be solid, but it's an outline. And then you also have a block here and a border there, but we just want the outline. So we've got that, and you can change all of the different parameters on this one, and we can move it left and right. So you can make a shadow that moves. See the keyframe icon? You could do that. You could. And again, we have shear, and we can make just the background italicized. So you can do 3D shading effects, which is super, super cool. Hard to speak tonight. But if we move on to 3, it's black shadow. We enable that, and now we have a black shadow that you can't see. So I'm going to drag up our title, and I'm going to come to generators, get a solid color generator, drop that in, change the color to be a bright green because it shows up. Now you can see that we have a shadow. Golly, I don't like that green at all. Let's go with a slightly darker blue. There we go. That still stands out, right? But now we're back on our text effect, and we've got our black shadow. It's there. And if we grab the X, it moves left and right. It gets a little more soft, and we can soften both of them up. Now it's a nice soft drop shadow. We can change the glow on it to make it a little bit darker, and we can change the blend to bring that softness back in. It's all about fine-tuning, and at the end of this tutorial, I will show you how to make these reusable without leaving the edit page. Stay tuned. Now, this is pretty cool. Under the position section, we have priority, which changes the priority of each shading element. So what you can do is think of them as layers, where the top layer is your text, and then the outline, and then the drop shadow. But if we change the priority by dragging this slider, you can see how things move around. So now our outline is beneath the drop shadow, and then the drop shadow is now in front of everything else. So as we move it back, to 0, now it's in the background. You can click on this dot or double click on priority to bring it back to default. Then we have a blue border that we can add. Now this is where we can add a background. So check this out. It's enabled. The opacity is 1. The blending is composite. But if we change level from character to text, line, or word, things are going to change. Now it's by word. It's by line, which looks the same, but if I go back to my text and let's add more spaces there. Now you can see there's enough space that the word makes a difference, because now if it's line, it's filled in. And then we can go to text completely, where we now have a background, and we can change this background to black, and then we can give it a little bit of an alpha, which makes it more transparent. And if we come up to round, we can give it a corner radius so it looks sharper. And you can extend it so we can have this be a little bit bigger than what it was going to be. How nifty is that, right? That's pretty cool. So now we've built this really complex text effect that does a whole lot of things. But one of the things that I want to show you has to do with Fusion. So let's create a new text effect. We'll come back to our titles. We'll grab a new text plus. We'll put it under our solid color generator. I'll alt drag to make a duplicate of that. We have our custom title. Well, let's say we wanted 3 lines of text. Now, we want to get really creative with this, so we're going to need to go to Fusion. We're going to click on this Fusion icon right here, and it will open this clip in the Fusion page where it brings it in with a transparent background. Now, what we want to do, and this is really easy, right-click on the text, choose Character Level Styling, which opens up the Modifiers tab, and when we click on that, we have Text, Transform, Shading, and Settings. We can go get just hog wild crazy in here. But what we want to do is we want to select these 2 lines of text, and we can try to change our line spacing here, but it doesn't play real well until we select the other 2 lines and then we bump it out. And there's a reason I'm doing this, and that's because I want to select just subscribe and I want to make it bigger. And then we're going to select this stuff here, the Creator Reality, we'll make that a little bit bigger. And then while it's still selected, I can go to Transform, come down to Shear, make it italicized, and notice just what I selected is changing. Well, now, if I come back to Tools and I change our line spacing, nothing happens because we have modified it in modifiers. But when I select the text, all of it right here, let's see, we'll select these 2, we'll bring them closer together. It'll just bring them right where we need to. And here's a really cool thing. You notice we've got all the color and font and everything. I could change the font to a bright red. Look at that. How cool is that? And then if I want this top one to be a blue, we can select a blue one. But now we've made all these changes to this text in the Fusion page that will then be reflected in the Edit page. So when we come back to Edit, that looks pretty cool. I gotta say, that looks nice, right? Now that we have everything set up the way we like in our preview screen, it's time to go play with the settings area that we ignored earlier. So we'll click on settings and you have access to transform, cropping, dynamic zoom, etc. We can change the opacity and the composite. And this is all basically gross changes after you've done all your fine tuning. So for one thing I like to do is have the text fade on screen. And to do that, we can start at the start of our clip and we can crop right until we're past all of our text. Click to create a keyframe. Go sometime in the future and bring that down until all the text is visible. Then as you play through it, the text will come on screen. And if you want to get extra creative with it, we'll go in the middle somewhere and we can change the softness. And you can change it in both directions. Maybe we want like that. That looks good. So when we play it on, it fades on real slick-like. Now, if you want to go up to the keyframes icon, it's selected here. We can click on our little visibility icon, make sure our text is selected. And since it's not visible, we can click on the arrow icon here and it's now visible. We can click in blank space, Control A to select, get our drop down, ease in and out. And now it has an even better fade in. Zoom. That looks pretty cool. So you can do all of your fine tuning in the title area and then come to settings to do the gross changes. Plus, we can move this around. We can zoom it out for different effects or different uses, and it's still going to maintain everything else that we've created for it, and you don't lose anything. So as you've seen, there's a lot going on in the Text Plus title effect. How do you save this for future use, you're asking? Well, I told you earlier I was going to answer it. Now it's time. So I'm going to click on my media pool until I see it, and you see I have power bins here. Well, if you click on these 3 dots, it says show smart bins and show power bins. Well, if I uncheck it, they're gone. Click on the 3 dots, show power bins. Power bins are accessible across all the projects in your project library. So once you add something to your power bins, you can access it from any project. Anything up here in master, that is just for this project. So I'm going to open up master and I've got a bunch of stuff here. Well, I've got this Text Plus. I want to save this for later. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to use it as thumbnail text, default, whatever. There's a million uses for it. Even if you add keyframes, you play with it in Fusion, all we have to do is drag it and drop it in. And it's going to keep it titled Text Plus. We can click on that. It becomes editable and we can call it Text Plus Title Demo. There we go. And now it will be accessible from all of my projects. Alternatively, with your inspector open, we can click on inspector, make sure we see it, click file, and you can change it here. So we could type in Creator Reality Text Plus Title. And if you click away from that, now it's got the name up here and it's got the name right here. And if I drag that in, it's named by the time it gets in here. Easy peasy, right? Something else to play with is motion blur. Under title, in the settings section, you'll see a checkbox called motion blur. You click it and you get a bunch of settings. The only thing I generally change is the quality from 2 to 8. For this, we're going to need some movement, so we'll go back to the layout section, and we're at the start of our clip. I'll create a keyframe, and I'll just drag it all the way to the left so it's off frame. We'll go sometime in the future, and I'll double click in center X, type in 0.5, tab away, and you can see it's already blurry because it's adding that motion blur. So once Resolve renders that and we play this back, you'll see that it's blurry. Isn't that cool? Try that again. Look at that. Oh, that is so slick. Little extra professional secret sauce, if you will. So, how much fun was that? I've been using the Text Plus node a lot lately to do thumbnail text and then motion graphics on screen. It has been a lot of fun. If you have any questions or comments about it, drop those down below and I'll make a follow-up video. Hey, if enough people like this video and ask for it, I can even do one on keyframes and some basic motion graphics. I think that would be fun. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, as usual, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you will like, comment, share, and subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And until next time, you can check out this video here. It's one of mine. You'll like it. You'll learn something. John out.